The Young and the Restless spoilers. In the heart of Genoa City, where alliances are as fragile as glass and secrets run deeper than the darkest rivers, few characters are as undeniably captivating as Phyllis Summers. Known for her intelligence, beauty, and fiery demeanor, Phyllis has never been one to shy away from manipulating the situation to her advantage. She has always used her charms to her benefit, drawing men into her orbit with ease, playing them like chess pieces in a game only she understands. But as she stands on the edge of a new venture, one that could see her finally oust Sharon from Nick's life once and for all, the stakes are higher than ever. Sharon Newman, Phyllis's old rival, has long been the object of her bitterness, the woman who stands between her and the life she believes she deserves. Every time Phyllis sees Sharon with Nick, it only fuels her desire for revenge, a burning need to destroy her once and for all. For years, Phyllis has tried to play it cool, to maintain the facade of civility, but in the depths of her soul, the venom of hatred for Sharon has always lurked, waiting for the right moment to strike. And now, with Matt entering the scene, that moment is almost within reach. Matt, a man whose arrival in Genoa City has set tongues wagging and curiosity piquing, may be the key to Phyllis's ultimate revenge. On the surface, he appears to be just another handsome, charming man who is swept up in Phyllis's magnetic allure, but there is much more to him than meets the eye. Despite being married to Sienna, Matt's intentions are far from noble, and Phyllis is all too aware of the crackling tension between the two of them. But that doesn't matter. Phyllis sees an opportunity to entrap Matt, to manipulate him into helping her destroy Sharon, and she won't let anything stand in her way. What makes Matt different from the other men Phyllis has entangled in her web of seduction is his intelligence. Unlike the men who have blindly followed Phyllis in the past, Matt is sharp, calculating, and not easily swayed by physical temptation. But there is a flaw, a crack in his armor, one that Phyllis intends to exploit to her advantage. Phyllis knows that Matt's desire for revenge against the Newman family runs deep, and with her uncanny ability to read people, she knows exactly how to appeal to his darker impulses. As Matt becomes more entwined in Phyllis's world, he finds himself facing a dangerous dilemma. On one hand, he wants nothing more than to fix his broken marriage with Sienna, to regain the trust and affection of the woman he loves. But on the other hand, he is irresistibly drawn to Phyllis. Her beauty, her brilliance, her ruthless ambition. He is not immune to the allure of a woman who knows how to get what she wants, and the tension between them only grows with each passing moment. Matt, despite his moral compass, can't help but feel the pull of temptation. Phyllis's promises of power, revenge, and freedom from his past struggles speak to his deepest desires, and as the days pass, the lines between right and wrong begin to blur in his mind. Phyllis, ever the strategist, recognizes that Matt's inner conflict is the key to bending him to her will. She promises him a future where he can finally exact the revenge he craves on the Newman family. Together, they could bring down Nick, destroy Sharon's life, and carve out a new reality for themselves, one where they sit at the top, untouchable and victorious. But Matt, still torn by his love for Sienna and his thirst for vengeance, hesitates. He knows that crossing the line with Phyllis could destroy everything he's worked for, but the temptation is just too strong. As Matt grows closer to Phyllis, his intentions become murkier, his grip on reality loosening with every passing day. His obsession with revenge becomes all-consuming, pushing him further into madness. The lines between ally and enemy blur, and Matt begins to feel that the only way to truly be free is to take drastic action. Actions that may involve eliminating the very people who stand in his way. Phyllis, ever the schemer, encourages his darkest thoughts, whispering into his ear that the only way forward is through destruction, and that only by eliminating Nick and Sharon can they both be truly free. But what if Matt's vendetta against the Newman family goes deeper than anyone realizes? What if his hatred for them isn't just about Sharon or Nick, but about a past shrouded in mystery? A past that has shaped him into the man he is today? There are whispers in Genoa City that Matt might not be who he claims to be. Could he be hiding a secret so dark that it could change everything? Is his desire for revenge tied to a family grudge that no one knew about? Perhaps Matt has an even greater reason for wanting to destroy the Newmans, a reason that goes beyond personal rivalry and into the realm of legacy, betrayal, and lost identity. The deeper Phyllis gets involved with Matt, the more she begins to question his true intentions. She senses that there is something lurking beneath the surface, something that even she, with all her cunning, cannot fully understand. But at the same time, she is no fool. She knows that she is playing a dangerous game, and every move she makes must be calculated. She pushes Matt further down the path of vengeance, all the while keeping one eye on him, wondering if he will ultimately betray her once he gets what he wants. As Matt and Phyllis work together to dismantle the Newmans, the tension in Genoa City continues to rise. Their scheme is beginning to take shape, but as with all things involving Phyllis, nothing goes according to plan. Matt, caught between his feelings for Phyllis, his love for Sienna, and his thirst for revenge, is beginning to unravel. Will he go too far and destroy everything in his path, or will the ties that bind him to Sienna pull him back before it's too late? And what of Phyllis? Will she get the revenge she so desperately craves, or will she find herself outsmarted by the very man she's trying to manipulate? In a world where nothing is ever truly as it seems, one thing is certain. Matt's true identity and his connection to the Newman family are about to come to light in ways no one could ever have predicted. Secrets will be revealed, loyalties will be tested, and the ultimate question remains, will Matt's obsession with revenge cost him everything, or will he finally take control of his own destiny, leaving Phyllis and Genoa City shattered in his wake? Phyllis Summers, the devious strategist and the unlikely alliances that could change Genoa City forever. In Genoa City, where alliances shift as quickly as the tides and betrayal is often disguised as love, Phyllis Summers stands as one of the most enigmatic, dangerous figures the city has ever seen. With a reputation built on manipulation, seduction, and ruthless ambition, Phyllis has earned a place as one of the greatest schemers in the Young and the Restless. But what happens when even the most dangerous players in Genoa City are caught in a game of deception so intricate that the very people they're trying to control begin to control them instead? Phyllis has long viewed Sharon Newman as her rival, a woman who stands in the way of everything Phyllis desires, especially when it comes to Nick. The conflict between them has been brewing for years, and Phyllis has never once shied away from using any tool at her disposal to get what she wants. Sharon, with her unwavering morals and her love for Nick, has always seemed like the perfect target for Phyllis's games. And yet, over time, something more has been brewing in the undercurrents of their rivalry. Phyllis may have seen Sharon as a threat to her happiness, but in truth, Sharon's vulnerability, her constant battle with the secrets she carries, has drawn Phyllis in just as much as it has driven her to destroy Sharon's world. Nick, too, has been a constant source of conflict for Phyllis. In her mind, he has always been the one man she truly desired, the one man who could make her feel alive again. Yet, every time she feels that she is close to winning his affection, Sharon manages to slip back into his life, reigniting their bond. Phyllis, of course, has never been one to let things slide. Her obsession with both Sharon and Nick has only grown more intense with time, as has her determination to ensure that she, rather than Sharon, claims the life she believes she deserves. But in the midst of all the rivalry and manipulation, something unexpected has come to pass, something that threatens to change the very course of Phyllis's master plan. Recently, Phyllis has found herself drawn into an unlikely alliance, one that will turn everything she thought she knew about control on its head. Noah Newman, a man whose loyalty to the Newman family has been unwavering, has become a pawn in Phyllis's dangerous game. But this time, the lines between manipulation and genuine connection are becoming increasingly blurred. Phyllis may have initially used her influence to bring Noah into her fold, but what she didn't anticipate was the emotional bond that would form between them. Noah, still recovering from the aftermath of his car accident and struggling with his identity, finds himself confiding in Phyllis in ways that he has never done before. Her calculated charm and cold, calculating nature have slowly entangled him in her web. Sienna, too, has found herself unwittingly caught in Phyllis's schemes. As a woman of strength and conviction, Sienna has always been cautious and measured in her relationships. But when she and Noah were kidnapped and taken to a hidden location, it was Phyllis who ultimately came to their rescue. She was the one who orchestrated their escape, the one who engineered their rescue, and the one who ensured their safety. In the chaos of the kidnapping and the fear of what would happen next, Noah and Sienna found solace in one another's presence. Their shared ordeal deepened their connection, and for the first time in a long time, they both found someone who understood their fears and anxieties. But what they didn't know, what neither of them expected, was that their path would soon collide with Phyllis's manipulations in a way they could not have foreseen. As Noah and Sienna find themselves staying in Phyllis's apartment, their anger toward her grows. They can't help but question her motives. Why would Phyllis, a woman who has done nothing but manipulate everyone in her life, suddenly help them? Why would she come to their rescue and offer them shelter when they had been nothing but pawns in her schemes? The bitterness that festers between them is palpable, and yet they cannot escape the truth that Phyllis is the one who holds all the power in this situation. As much as they resent her, they know they are dependent on her for their survival, and that dependence is eating away at their souls. What frustrates them most, however, is the realization that Phyllis's motives are not as simple as they seem. She's not simply helping them out of the goodness of her heart. Phyllis is playing a dangerous game, one that involves not only her long-standing feud with Sharon but also a twisted alliance with Matt, the very man they've come to see as the ultimate threat. Matt, with his charm and his cold-blooded desire for revenge, has been wrapped around Phyllis's finger from the start. And although Matt's intentions have always been shrouded in mystery, Phyllis knows exactly how to use his feelings for her to further her own goals. Noah and Sienna are livid when they realize that Phyllis is helping Matt in his pursuit of revenge against Nick and Sharon. They know the history between Phyllis and Matt, and they know the lengths she will go to for power. The fact that she's aligning herself with a man as dangerous as Matt, someone who would stop at nothing to tear apart the lives of the people they care about, only deepens their hatred for her. But Phyllis doesn't care. She's playing her cards carefully, and she knows that the only way to defeat Sharon and Nick is to destabilize them from the inside out. And if she can use Matt, with his anger and his desire for retribution, to do that, then so be it. Nothing and no one stands in her way. As Matt begins to get closer to Phyllis, his obsession with revenge grows stronger, and Phyllis feeds into that darkness. She promises him everything. Control over the Newman family, the destruction of Sharon, and the ultimate victory over Nick. But as Matt grows more entwined in Phyllis's web, something darker begins to unfold. The lines between allies and enemies blur, and Matt's true intentions begin to take shape. Is he really just a man driven by revenge, or does he have a deeper connection to the Newman family than anyone realizes? Could his motivations be tied to a long-hidden secret, one that could change the entire balance of power in Genoa City? As Noah and Sienna continue to stay in Phyllis's apartment, their emotions run high. Anger, frustration, confusion, and fear swirl within them, and yet they cannot escape the truth: they are trapped. Phyllis holds the key to their freedom, but with every passing day, they realize just how much of themselves they are willing to sacrifice in order to survive. They want to trust her, they want to believe that she is genuinely helping them, but the reality of Phyllis's manipulations is undeniable. Every smile, every gesture, every word that leaves her lips is part of a larger game, a game in which they are mere pawns. But as Phyllis continues to pull the strings, she too begins to realize that she may have underestimated Noah and Sienna. The more time they spend together, the more their bond grows. And in that bond, Phyllis may have unwittingly planted the seeds of her own destruction. For Noah and Sienna are not as helpless as she believes. They may just be the ones to outsmart her in the end, taking back control of their lives and exposing Phyllis for the manipulator she truly is. In the dark, twisted world of Genoa City, where secrets are currency and betrayal is a way of life, one thing is certain: nothing is ever as it seems. The lines between right and wrong are constantly shifting, and the characters caught in this web of lies and manipulation are just as tangled as the stories they create. Whether Phyllis's plan succeeds or whether Noah and Sienna finally break free from her grasp, one thing is for sure: Genoa City will never be the same again.